My name is Jo O'Brien. I work for the Well Communities in North Lancashire, and I've actually nominated Lauren, Ellis, Eddie and Iris for the Volunteer Awards this year.
Yeah, so my name is Sophie Fosker. I work for Global Link, and I've nominated another small organisation called Bikes for Lancaster, run primarily by Sue Holden, a volunteer. And then I've nominated 6 other of our casework volunteers. So we've got Candy, Fationa, Saha, Samaya, Tim and Sophia.
So I'm Nikki Willen, I'm the volunteer coordinator at St John's Hospice, and this year we've nominated all our shop volunteers that have come back and supported our 9 shops and warehouse this year.
My name is Steve Normile. I'm the Managing Director of Beyond Radio, the community radio station for Lancaster, Morecambe and North Lancashire. And I'm nominating our fantastic team of dedicated volunteers who work tirelessly to keep Beyond Radio on air, delivering our service of entertainment, local news and information to our district.
My name is Stephanie Gray. I'm the Engagement and Development Officer for Lancaster City Council. I've nominated the Friends of our Parks and Open Spaces, and there's quite a few. So there's the Friends of Alexander Square, Bay Cottage, Barleycote Woods, Beach Avenue, Crag Bank, Dorrington Woods, Fairfield Association, Greaves Park, Gregson at Highfield, Loonbank Gardens, Mr Wallace Field, Palatine Projects, Poulton Park, Regent Park, Rydens Park, Scott's Quarry, St Chad's, Story Gardens, Torres Home Park, and David Pearce, who volunteers around the Kingsway area in Heysham.
My name is Anne Whitehead. I'm a city councillor in the Scotforth East Ward, and I'm also a trustee of the Barton Road Community Centre. And I've nominated Janine Bebbington.
So the team together, they run our food club here at Morecambe. It runs every Friday. We set it up 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. They have continually turned up every week for us during the whole lockdown pandemic, and continued to bring food to the local community, not just to people who are suffering with addiction, which is primarily what we do, but to the wider community at large.
Bikes for Lancaster, so that's Sue Holden and a small team that accept donations of bikes from all the community across Lancaster, and we get calls and get them in from all sorts of places, and then she does them up and then distributes them to asylum seekers and refugees. And since she started in 2018, she's distributed 347 bikes to the community, so it's a lot of work and a lot of bikes. Candy and Samaya and Saha are volunteer interpreters, and we could not function as a charity without our great, amazing team of volunteer interpreters. We work with so many languages. So Candy does Spanish, we work with South Americans, Samaya does Iranian, so it's Farsi, and Saha does Arabic, and also Sophia does Tigrinian. So we have, an amazing team of volunteer interpreters that just available as and when we need them. And they're always so approachable, so lovely, and just help us when we need them. Fationa, Samaya, Saha, Sophia and Tim are also what I call casework volunteers. So they don't only just volunteer, interpret, but they're helping with all the issues that you might come across when you're an asylum seeker. So helping people to integrate, and some of the more experienced ones like Sophia, she's now helping her community with the more complex issues around when you get leave to remain. So that's things like applying for universal credit, helping with benefits and housing. So they're quite complex tasks that they help with.
So it's obviously, as everybody knows, been a tough year, and with the shops we've had very much a stop-start situation, and so we feel that they've been so loyal to us and stuck with us no matter what we've asked of them. And increasingly it started off that we had to ask them to do a health questionnaire, and to obviously the face masks and all the protocols that we had put in place, and to come on board with all the new systems of cleaning, extra wiping down, social distances. Then masks came in where they had to wear masks on the shop floor. And now this final opening up, obviously we're asking them to test once or twice a week, depending how many shifts that they come. And it's tough, you know, it's very difficult, and it's putting extra pressure on people. People are nervous and feeling that there's all extra things for them to do, but because of their loyalty to their shop and to the shop manager and to the recognition of the hospice and what the funds are going towards, predominantly they've come back.
Our team excel at producing content for our listeners that not just entertains but keeps people informed, and most importantly engages people in the things that matter most to them. And it's not just about the time that our volunteers spend on air. A typical show will take 60 to 90 minutes of additional preparation before even opening up the mic. Plus, there's all the other stuff that our volunteers do too. Our team are hugely dedicated and devote above and beyond any expectation we have of them. Beyond time on air, for example, our teams often support local charities and community groups, and you'll hear them share those messages on air. They attend, when circumstances allow, events, hosting and supporting charity functions, and helping to train other volunteers to enable them to get their voices heard. That's a big role of volunteering at Beyond Radio too.
I've nominated the friends and volunteers as a way to try and express our appreciation for the valuable contribution they bring. A lot of the time they are just going out on their own, working hard, so they don't always realise how much we do appreciate it. And it is hard to come really adequate words to describe how much their support means, and I can't thank them enough. Lockdown had really highlighted the importance of our outdoor spaces, and we've seen a huge increase in all our parks and open spaces in the last 12 months.
I've known Janine for about 6 years now, and I've worked with her on projects at the Barton Road Community Centre and also at the nearby Palatine Recreation Ground. And Janine is just the driving force behind the scenes. She works tirelessly to support the local community in South Lancaster. She's dedicated to combating social isolation and loneliness, and to promoting physical and mental health and well-being, and promoting a greater degree of intergenerational understanding. So wants young people and old people to get together at these various occasions as much as possible. And of course, during the pandemic, these issues have become even more important.
The volunteers have had a huge impact to our local community and to us as a service. We're a peer-led recovery organisation. We're a LERO, so lived experience recovery organisation. Everyone that has that volunteers for us has either endured their own issues in life from addiction, or they're actually family members as well. So for us, volunteering is a lot about giving back to the community, which also helps people with their own self-esteem and a sense of purpose.
So for asylum seekers that come to Lancaster, often they feel quite shocked when they get here. They might have been in Liverpool or London. They get to Lancaster and they're like, what is this place? It's really small. There's nobody around. And then they might stumble across us, or we reach out to them, and actually finding people from their own, that speak their own language, or they're just friendly, and reach out to them makes a massive difference to people settling in and feeling a sense of slow sense of being settled and integrated into this community. And these volunteers do that. So they go out, they reach out to people, they talk to people, and they also help with the logistics of being asylum seeker or refugee, which can be really challenging at times. Very complicated issues around finance or housing or food. So they really help the sort of refugee and asylum seeker population to manage and more than that, to kind of settle and integrate into our community.
As a hospice, we have to make in the region of £9,000 a day to keep all our services going, and all our fundraising events, of course, have had to stop because they're group activities like moonlight walks and colour dash and so on. Our cafe, which is a great source of income for us, has not still opened because we only have one entrance, one exit, and so the shops really were our only way of making money this past year. And so they've brought in a great amount of money. Without the shops, we've been in a very much worse financial situation that we are in now.
Beyond Radio simply could not exist without our volunteer team. The whole station operates on the goodwill and generosity of our volunteers in giving us their time and commitment to deliver our service. The benefit of Beyond Radio is therefore felt predominantly by our local communities. We broadcast to a population of around 160,000 people, and we know that our services provide a great deal of value to our audience.
They play a vital role in protecting and enhancing local parks, woodlands, play areas and green spaces. They carry out consultations, which gives residents a greater say to what goes in the local park. They do fundraising to make improvements and hold events. They enhance biodiversity by creating wildflower meadows and planting trees. And they do litter picks and weed pulls, keeping areas tidy. They improve access so people can enjoy spaces that they couldn't previously. They contribute to the planning and management of areas. They lead nature walks and talks, and they also produce promotional and educational resources.
During the pandemic, Janine's worked tirelessly to keep the community connected and to look out for people and to keep the community centre buoyant. She's always thinking of innovative ways to keep people motivated and to keep them involved. And at the beginning of the pandemic, she devised a COVID response plan to serve the community. She's organised a leaflet drop to about 2,500 homes in the area, asking for volunteers and also encouraging those in need of support or help in running errands to contact the centre, and got a phenomenal response, gaining almost about 100 volunteers within the first couple of days of the leaflets going out.
That contact with people has been absolutely vital.
Oh, we have some amazing people in our volunteer team.
It's really quite amazing what they will give to us.
Our team excel.
We really do appreciate them immensely.
We just would like to give her a big thank you